Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome to the ABAP for functional session. In today's session, we are going to start with a debugging. There are some more syntax. For example, here for all entries, we have to understand the concept of a report events. What are the events like a start of selection, end of selection, at selection screen. So these also gradually we will be learning. Some important loops we are having apart from loop and end loop, we are having do and end do and while and end while. So these are the different types of loops we are having. Okay, this also will be looking into. Let's start with the breakpoint. Okay, so breakpoint we already know that it gives a signal to the program that where it has to stop. That is the breakpoint. Okay, so if you want to stop the control, if you want to stop the control or cursor, then we use the breakpoint. Okay, it gives the signal to the program where it has to stop its cursor or control. We have seen many times we have put the breakpoint, and when we execute the program, it was getting stopped it over there, right? There are mainly three types of breakpoint. Okay, there are mainly three types of breakpoint. What are those three types of breakpoint? One is session breakpoint, the one which we have been using. Okay, this is known as the session breakpoint. Another is the external breakpoint. Third one is hard coded breakpoint. Hard coded breakpoint. And there is one more, if you want to categorize, there is one more called dynamic breakpoint. Okay, so let's note it down that also. So dynamic breakpoint. So these are the four different breakpoints we are having. One is the session breakpoint, other is the external breakpoint, then we are having the hard coded breakpoint, and at last we are having the dynamic breakpoint. Let's see one by one. Okay, let's see the, let's go to the system. And going to some of the program, and there I will show you. So I have created one program, ZAFF demo. Click on this display button, and let's suppose I have to debug this program. Okay, so if you put the breakpoint like this is known as the session breakpoint. Okay, and if you want to debug this program when the control is coming from outside of this SAP system, okay, that means if you are calling this program from some another SAP system, let's say, However, directly calling the report from another SAP system is not possible. You can call a RFC function module. See, function module is of three types basically. The one which we have discussed in last class, that we have discussed the regular function module. But let's suppose if you want to call this function module from outside of this system, right? Current system is S18, correct? So if you want to debug this function module can be called from outside if it is RFC function module. This one, remote enabled function module is selected. Then it can be called from the different system. Directly report cannot be called from the different system, not possible. But RFC function module can be called. So if it is RFC function module, and you want to debug from the different system, you can put the external breakpoint. This one is the session normal you can use in the if you have to debug in the same system, right? If you have to debug from different system, then you have to use the external breakpoint, and the ID from which the program from external system is getting executed, that ID you have to set inside. You have to go to utility, and there you have to go to the debugging, and the username, let's suppose from another system, from another system, Lakshmi ID, like Lakshmi M. Let's suppose this is some ID in another system, user ID is going to call this program. So you have to set the ID for the user who is going to trigger the program from another system. So once they will trigger the program, it will stop it over here and you can start the debugging. So you must have to set the ID. Okay, you must have to set this ID. So this is the, and a remaining thing is going to be the same. Okay, the remaining thing is going to be the same. So this is external breakpoint, and the session breakpoint you also understood in the same system. Okay, this external breakpoint work in the same system also. Like if you execute this one, it will stop here also. So external breakpoint is used generally to stop the control if it is coming from outside of the system. However, it can be used for the same system also. Okay, so session breakpoint and external breakpoint for the same system. Session breakpoint only within the same system. External breakpoint can be used from another system also. Is it clear for everyone? Did you understand what is the different types of breakpoint? At least session and external over here.
Yes, sir.
How to use the session, how to use the external. Very good. And hard-coded breakpoint. So
Sorry, sir.
hard-coded.
Sir, I have a
Mhm,
question.
mhm.
Sir, what do you mean by external system? Means, say, if I have,
Yeah,
I have
meaning
a
of,
portal.
yeah, external system. Let me explain you. So external system means, let's suppose this system name is S118. You can see that the name of the system is this one,
Okay,
S118, right? So this
right.
is my S118. Let's suppose you have one another SAP system, okay? Another SAP system S119. One
Okay,
more SAP system you have S20, or some another SAP system you have CRM, SRM. There can be several other SAP system you can have. You can have one Fury application or UI5 application. Okay, UI5 or Fury application. So from here, if you are, let's suppose from UI5 and Fury, some function module, which is remote function module here in S18 system is there. If that is going to get called, what will happen? That you have to use the what? You have to use the external breakpoint, the
Right.
IG through which you have logged in into CRM system. So if some RFC function module